Welcome to this special edition of We Are Washington, straight from the historic swearing-in ceremony of Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Council of the District of Columbia.
Mayor Bowser is the first mayor to be re-elected in 16 years and the first female mayor ever to be elected to a second term. And this time around, Mayor Bowser is encouraging Washingtonians to think big, and we are going to hear much more about her vision for the city coming up. But first, we want to give you an overview of the city's official events going on in our inauguration rundown.
Ceremony opens right now behind me. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton delivering welcoming remarks. From there, they'll be followed by the swearing-in of Attorney General Carl Racine, the district's first elected Attorney General, who will take the oath of office for his second term.
7 returning council members will then be sworn in: Brianne Nadeau, Mary Shea, Kenyon McDuffie, Charles Allen, Alyssa Silverman, Anita Bonds, and Chairman Phil Mendelson. Following the council members, Mayor Muriel Bowser takes the oath of office, administered by Chief Judge of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, Anna Blackburn Rigsby. Mayor Bowser will then deliver her inaugural address.
Now, it's worth noting that what's happening today is a fairly rare occurrence for the D.C. government, in that all 7 of the council members who will be taking their oath on stage did so 4 years ago. They won their elections, and there's no turnover occurring. So you're seeing the same council members who were sworn in 4 years ago taking their oath again today.
And also 2 notable additions to the district family. Council member Brianne Nadeau had a baby, Zoe. She will be here today, and she became the first council member ever to give birth while in office. Also joining us, Mayor Bowser's baby girl, Miranda.
That's right.
Who I have a feeling is going to steal the whole show. Mayor Bowser was elected 4 years ago with the promise of a fresh start for Washingtonians.
Each year on the 1st of January, she's taken that message and run with it as part of the annual Fresh Start 5K. Here she is with this year's race that she ran New Year's Day. It encouraged residents to keep healthy all throughout the new year. Take a look at how this race comes together.
This is a great way to start off the new year, and people like to be with their neighbors, their friends, and their families to make a commitment to health and fitness.
4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Starting off the new year with wellness top of mind is all part of Mayor Bowser's Fit DC initiative, encouraging residents to live healthy. These runners are starting the new year with a sense of accomplishment and the chance to explore another part of the city.
Y'all look great! Looking great! We're looking good too! Get it! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
As they gasp a large breath of cold air,
Nice pace! Keep it going! Keep it going!
get a pat on the back for their efforts, and take the final steps across the finish line, they're also taking the first steps towards good health in the new year.
Good job, man. Good job. Good job.
Happy New Year!
I love this fresh start tradition, but I must say I always feel a little bit guilty whenever I see all these people getting out on the first day of the year and getting healthy. But, you know, her message is that it's never too late get healthy.
That's right. And it's been something that she's put an emphasis on through the 4 years of her first term. And I have a feeling that, you know, physical fitness and this sort of thing is the type of message that you're going to keep hearing probably in the second term.
No, Mayor Bowser is only the 7th mayor ever to be elected by district residents.
And interesting facts like that are part of the unique D.C. history. You know, D.C. didn't receive the right to elect its own mayors until Home Rule passed in 1973. Learned a lot of other interesting facts along the way when we sat down with Josh Gibson, who's the communications director for the D.C. Council, gave us a little bit of a history lesson and how the council works. Here, take a look.
The way the council is set up is we have 5 at-large council members, one of whom is the chairman, and we have 8 ward council members, one from each of the 8 wards of the district. And the way it was set up was basically some people can keep the good of the district as a whole in mind, and then others can keep smaller sections' interests in mind. We consider ourselves a state legislature, a county board, and a city council. So the DC Council is the sort of short version of who we are. The Council of the District of Columbia is our formal name, and we share a lot of the roles and responsibilities of 3 different legislatures. A lot of state legislatures, they have more limited roles. They're only in session for a couple months. A year. They have outside jobs because they're only in session, again, 2 or 3 months. We're in session most of the year, and it is a full-time job. The way the council turns over is roughly a half turns over every 2 years. An interesting bit of historical trivia is when we got home rule, we did put into place an entire council all at once to set up this staggered set of elections. They all got elected at once. Half of them got a 4-year term, half of them got a 2-year term. And my understanding is they drew lots, and half of them only got 2 years, and half of them got 4. The first time, I should say the last time I think that happened was during the Tony Williams administration, when the council didn't have any turnover, and the mayor also stayed in place. Before that, I'm not sure if it had happened prior, but that was the last time it had happened, so it's not that frequent. It's interesting because it's simultaneously exciting, because obviously these are the people who are making the law of the land in the nation's capital, but they're also co-workers. We all have co-workers, and they're my co-workers, but they're also people who are people of great importance and making important decisions every day. So it's interesting balance, those 2 roles.
All right, plenty going on, but we do have a quick minute to recap before we can carry on with our special edition of We Are Washington. Learned a lot from Josh Gibson. He has a lot of facts, a lot of knowledge about the D.C. Council. One of the things that I found interesting is today, right after they get done taking the oath of office and giving their speeches, they're going right into the chambers, going into session, and carrying on, starting the business of the District of Columbia, talking about the committee assignments and who will chair those committees. So it starts right on day one from right after they're sworn in.
They get right down to work, which means we have to get right down to work following them.
Absolutely, that's right. Well, plenty more ahead. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear from Mayor Muriel Bowser and watch her take the oath of office as she's sworn in to her 2nd term as mayor of the District of Columbia.
And following the mayor, we will then get to see all of the council members take their oaths and hear from them as well.
Welcome back to We Are Washington, our special edition of the 2019 swearing-in ceremony here at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center.
We're now going to watch as Mayor Muriel Bowser takes her oath of office, and then we'll hear her inaugural address.
I, Muriel Elizabeth Bowser,
having been duly re-elected as mayor of the District of Columbia, do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Home Rule Act and laws of the District of Columbia. I will perform my duties as mayor of the District of Columbia to the best of my ability, without fear or favor. I will exercise my best judgment and will consider each matter before me from the viewpoint of the best interest of the District of Columbia as a whole. And I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. I do not view a second term as a chance to warm the seat, but to think and act boldly as we work together to take on our toughest challenges. Each of us swears to represent the District of Columbia as a whole, without fear or favor. When I take that oath and when I administer it, I always say these words very slowly, and here's why. We are only as strong as a city as the ward that struggles the most. You cannot represent the District of Columbia as a whole and not reflect that in your words, actions, and budget decisions. Much of what we have achieved is because we stand on a solid foundation. 23 straight balanced budgets. We eliminated material weaknesses from our audits and got upgraded to a AAA bond rating from Moody's. We welcomed 700,000 residents in February. Not all in February, but we crossed 700,000 in February with a bouncing baby boy named Cooper and a bouncing baby girl named Leah. And in May, we welcomed a first daughter, baby Miranda. We helped over 1,200 seniors with $10 million in investment in Safe at Home and even more in Transport DC. As promised, we budgeted and spent over $100 million out of our Housing Production Trust Fund every single year in my first term. Working with our partners on the council, we focused on putting more money in people's pockets and raised our minimum wage. And by 2020, it will be $15 an hour in the nation's capital. I've been fortunate to serve our city as an advisory neighborhood commissioner, a ward council member, and now as a twice-elected mayor. So today, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with us, for trusting us, for pushing us. To everybody who's worked for me in the Ward 4 Council office, the 30,000+ people who work for DC government, for the Ward 4 residents and DC residents who stuck with all of those green and yellow campaigns, I say thank you. And I also say, we will continue to make you proud. May God continue to bless each of you, and may God bless the District of Columbia.
Plenty more ahead after the break on this special edition of We Are Washington. We'll hear from the 7 D.C. council members as they take their oath of office and offer their remarks. Stay with us.
Welcome back to We Are Washington. We now continue our special coverage of the swearing-in ceremonies for the D.C. Council.
I, Brianne Nadeau.
I, Mary Shea.
I, Kenyon McDuffie.
I, Charles Allen.
I, Alyssa Silverman.
I, Anita Dunstan Bonds.
I, Phil Mendelson.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The laws of the United States of America.
The laws of the United States of America.
And of the District of Columbia.
And of the District of Columbia.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve.
Preserve.
Protect.
Protect.
And defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the District of Columbia Home Rule Act.
And the District of Columbia Home Rule Act.
And will faithfully discharge.
And will faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office of Member of the Council of the District of Columbia.
The duties of the office of Member of the Council of the District of Columbia.
On which I'm about to enter.
On which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
It is with deep gratitude for the people of Ward 1 that I stand here today, reflecting on all we have accomplished together over the past 4 years and all we have left to do. I've worked shoulder to shoulder with residents, community leaders, and every colleague seated here. We put more than 500 units of truly affordable housing in the pipeline in Ward 1, invested hundreds of millions of dollars into our neighborhood schools, and created new clean teams and Main Street programs to support our commercial corridors and small businesses.
We're a compassionate and resilient people. We can build our bright future. We can be the cause of our own success, but we have to be fearless and honest and committed to one another. Now is our moment.
Why am I optimistic about the future of our city? Because despite our occasional differences, I know that our elected officials care deeply about the well-being of our city and each one of our 700,000 residents. Indeed, it is my duty under the oath that I just swore to protect and defend those residents and help bring them out of the shadows and into the light.
Today's ceremony is about all of us renewing our dedication to make life better, in ways both big and small, every day for the amazing people who call DC home and who put their trust in us that take this oath. I'm incredibly proud of the work that I've done over the last 4 years. I am excited to get back to work with my colleagues to solve problems for the next 4 years, and I'm grateful that you've given me a chance to add to the story that we're all going to tell one day.
We come together today as Washingtonians, united by our relationships to this city, our home. It is a special place. But one thing should not change, that everyone who lives and pays taxes in the District of Columbia has a place here, has a voice here, and deserves to be heard.
It is up to us to make sure that when they see the glaring of the marble halls of Congress and happen to look away to H Street, Northeast in Ward 6, MLK Avenue in Ward 8, or the new Sum building at Benning Road in Ward 7, or down Georgia Avenue in Ward 4, that they see a world-class community, which we are, fully prepared to become the next state in the Union, the 51st state.
Citizens want government that works, that finds solutions, that makes our city better. While I am a firm believer in a strong legislature, I recognize that policies that have the support of both branches have the best chance of success. I am honored and humbled that you have once again placed your trust in me to lead the council for another term. The district, as the nation's capital, should be a model of service delivery in public education, public safety, public works, and public health. I ask you to hold us accountable.
Well, that is all the time that we have today. We'd like to thank you for watching our special. Encourage you to watch more of our programming. You can search for us on YouTube. Search Entertain DC.
See you next time.